This is a jurisdictional NPA/NXX based rate deck for U.S. termination. Country and code name designate the region. Code equals the NPA/NXX starting with the country code. Inter rate is for the interstate rate. Intra rate is the intrastate rate. Rate is the indeterminate rate. Minimum time and interval relate to the billing interval. The effective date shows the date this rate deck is effective. Now let's convert a vendor rate deck. What we have here is a vendor submitted rate deck. What we're going to do now is convert this rate deck into the standard template previously seen for uploading into the Fusion switch. What we will do first is copy the headings from our vendor rate deck template onto this vendor deck so that we can convert it over. Now that we have the template headings on our spreadsheet, we're going to move the data from the vendor submitted rate deck to our template in order to convert it properly. What we are doing now is converting the data from the vendor submitted rate deck into our template. Prefix becomes code, interstate becomes inter_rate, intrastate becomes intra_rate. In this particular example, the vendor has not submitted an indeterminate rate, but for our purposes we consider all indeterminate rates the same as intra rates. Therefore we will copy the same data over to the rate column. This particular vendor submitted deck uses the designation of 0/6/6 to show the billing interval. For our purposes, we need to break this out for the template. We will put a 6 under the MIN_time and a 6 under interval in order to show 6/6 billing. Now we add the effective date of this rate deck. By default, all rate decks will begin at midnight GMT. Our last modification is to add country and code name to this rate deck. Since this is a US termination deck, we will put USA for both designations. If you have a vendor supplied rate deck that does break out the regions, you're welcome to put that information in there. The last step is to remove the original vendor supplied rate deck information. Once removed, we have a rate deck ready to insert into our Fusion switch. If you would like to create a US non-jurisdictional rate deck, you can accomplish this by putting your rates into the rate column. By removing the inter and intra rate, you're left with one column for your rates. This will work as your US non-jurisdictional rate deck.